On Monday, the city breaks ground on a new police station in Northeast LA. But some officers there are concerned the old station is making them sick, and they believe the new one won't be much better. CBS 2 investigative reporter David Goldstein has the story.
James, Mike, Bill, Reggie.
LAPD officer J.C. Duarte gets emotional reading the names of co-workers who he says all passed away from cancer.
I worked with these people. They were my friends.
They all worked together at LAPD's Northeast Station on San Fernando Road, where Officer Duarte says in 27 years there, he's seen his share of illnesses.
In '91, I was working with a partner who ended up dying of a very rare cancer, and it started raising some flags. About 4 years later, I developed a tumor that my doctor was unable to explain.
And he's not alone.
The name of the disease is pemphigus vulgaris.
Officer Lenning Davis also works Northeast.
In early 2000, I was diagnosed with an extremely rare autoimmune disease that has hospitalized me twice, has put me on medications that I'll have to be on for the rest of my life.
The tumor.
And then there's Officer Kelly Mahon, seen here on our YouTube video. She's been diagnosed with brain cancer and also worked at Northeast Station.
When somebody shows you a picture of something on your brain, a big ball that's not supposed to be there, it's a little shocking. It's a little overwhelming.
Officer Mahon didn't want to be interviewed, but said it was okay to use the video while she hopes to one day recover.
The officers think it's no coincidence that all these things are occurring to people who've worked here at Northeast. That's because the building used to be a Kodak film processing lab and used toxic chemicals. Some officers believe that could be what led to their illnesses.
I have no other explanation for it. I don't know 100% that it was given to me by this station. I feel that it has.
And it's not just now. Joe Galindo worked there as an officer when Northeast opened in 1983 until he retired in 2007.
What do you remember, though, back then about any problems?
The only thing I remember is it was always in everybody's mind. The station is toxic. There's people dying of cancer here.
In 1996, CBS 2 did a report on the station showing something eating through the outside wall and rooms that were sealed awaiting an environmental cleanup, which took place. Now fast forward to 2014. In just a few days, the city will break ground on this new $30 million station. The only problem, according to some officers, it's located right next door to the old one, which some officers believe just doesn't make sense.
My concern is that they're going to build the new station, we're going to move in, they're going to start to demolish the old station, and they are going to find some things that are very hazardous.
City environmental studies for the new building confirm that, quote, chemical contaminants have been identified in the soil under and adjacent to the existing administration building. They include cyanide, heavy metals, hydrocarbon compounds, and a ferrocyanide dye, commonly known as Prussian blue. However, they gave the green light, saying no evidence of significant soil contamination was observed.
You believe the new building will be safe?
I do.
LAPD Assistant Chief Sandy Jo MacArthur says she's been assured there's no safety concerns, but knows some officers are fearful.
My own son works there. He's a police officer who works there, and he's young on the job. So I am aware that the concern continues to surface.
She says studies back in the late 90s found no serious health hazards, but admits LAPD hasn't done a comparative study on illnesses at Northeast versus other stations in 14 years. The last time in 2000, she said there was no difference.
No difference in the cancer rate at Northeast?
At this point, no. We're still looking at it just to, again, to make sure there is no issues.
I love it. I wouldn't dream of working anyplace else.
Officer Duarte can transfer, but says Northeast has been his home. The department says they'll distribute data that will show it's safe, hoping that the new building will put to rest the old fears. David Goldstein, CBS 2 News.